Hey everybody, before we start, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hey everybody watching right now. Sorry about not being super active. I've had some stuff I had to deal with, but I'm actually going to get into my UFC 290 picks. I know that's a card far away, and I should probably do the most upcoming UFC event, UFC 289, but I think that fight card, honestly, is just filled up with a bunch of Fight Night co-main events. So, I'd rather do 290, so I'm just about to get into that. Okay, so fight one is Christian Rodriguez versus Cameron Saaiman. Cameron Saaiman trains with another person on this card. I think Cameron Saaiman is a bit overrated, but I think he loses to Christian Rodriguez because Christian Rodriguez has beat another a decent grappler in Raul Rosas. And since Cameron Saaiman is also like a decent grappler, I think Christian Rodriguez may hold him on the ground or outstrike him to a unanimous decision. I'm not completely sure on this pick, but, I'm leaning more towards Christian Rodriguez. The next fight up is Jack Della Maddalena versus Sean Brady. Jack Della Maddalena is super well-rounded, but Sean Brady is kind of slow. Sean Brady struggled kind of with a mid-striker in Bilal Muhammad. Also, Jack Della Maddalena is decent on the ground and can probably get back to the feet if he needs to. I think if this fight stays on the feet, Jack Della Maddalena will win by KO. But if Sean Brady can control him on the ground, maybe he can win by decision. But I still think Jack Della Maddalena will pull through with the win. The next fight is Robbie Lawler versus Nico Price. They're both pretty good fighters. They both have pretty heavy hands. I think Robbie will most likely knock him out. But they're a UFC fight. But it's a UFC fight, so honestly, it could go either way. But I have Robbie by TKO in the second. Next fight is Bull versus Tracine Gore. The UFC is pumping Bo into kind of easy fights. Tracine has not won that many of his last fights, so I don't think he beats Bo. I think this will kind of be a repeat of Bo versus Jamie Pickett, so I think Bull will probably win by sub in the first or second round. Then there's Jalen Turner versus Dan Hooker. I did a whole video on this fight, and if you want any further proof on my pick, you could probably go watch that video. But I think Jalen wins this. So to sum it up basically here, Jalen will probably outstrike Dan Hooker, and also Jalen is even good on the ground. He has pretty stellar ground game, and I think he could get up. So I have Jalen Turner either winning by TKO or decision. The next fight is Robert Whittaker versus Dricus Du Plessis. I also did a video on this matchup, so if you want more depth into my pick, you should probably go watch that. I think Rob is miles better than Dricus Du Plessis. I think Rob will probably outclass him on the feet, but Rob is also better on the ground than Dricus. Robert will basically outclass him however he wants. Robert is super good, and I think Dricus Du Plessis is extremely overrated. The next fight is Brandon Moreno versus Alexandre Pantoja. I think Pantoja wins by submission because Pantoja is super good on the ground, and his main skill is jiu-jitsu. Brandon Moreno is also good on the ground, but I think Pantoja has the edge there. He also has already 2 wins over Moreno. Even though I'm a massive fan of Moreno, and I don't want him to lose, I just can't see him beating Pantoja. The next and final fight is Alexander Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez. I also did a video on this fight too, and you will probably know my pick from that video if you watched it, because I was super clear. But I think Yair beats Volk. Yair is very good on the feet, but he's also good on the ground. He beat Josh Emmett by submission, but he has also KO'd guys. Volk got knocked down by Max and Ortega, and they're also not very known for their power, even though they both had knockouts. So I think if Yair can get on top and finish him, I think he could win by TKO. I know that's a bit of a stretch, seeing Volkanovski is a very good and impressive fighter, but I think Yair Rodriguez can pull the victory. Those were my picks. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.